I'm ready. How to Get the Job You Want by Hanson, Business Communication, Summer 2015. During my presentation, the two main points I will be covering are preparing for the interview, during the interview. I will break down each of these into subtopics and give you a better understanding of each one. During this part of my presentation, we will talk about how to prepare yourself for the interview. We will cover having professional phone technique, ways to make your first conversation with the future employer impressive. We will also talk about researching the organization you're applying to and having a better understanding of the company's values. Preparing and practicing will also be covered, and ways to clean up your social media before applying for a job. Arriving and traveling to the interview is also one of the points we will cover. The last point we will cover is how to fight the fear of your pre-interview jitters. When applying for a job, a phone call with the interviewer will be the first communication you have with your future employer. You want to sound professional when you answer the phone, or if they have to leave a voicemail, you want your voicemail to sound professional. Your voicemail should be clear with no distracting background noise. Also, if you have a friend or family member answering the phone, make sure they know to be professional and take good notes. You also want to avoid any children answering your phone. Children are not known for taking good messages. If a cell phone is your main line, make sure you're in a good location to carry on a conversation. Using a cell phone also gives you the ability to screen the call. So if you are not at a good place, you can let them leave a message and you can return their call when you are in a better location. When you finally have that first conversation with the future employer, you want to make sure you are prepared for the conversation. This will be the first time the employer hears your voice, and you want to give the best first impression you can. You want to keep a list of names of the positions you've applied for, so you have a good idea of what they are calling for. When you're talking to future employers, treat us as if you were on an interview and use business-like language. If you do happen to answer the phone and are caught off guard, politely ask if you can call them back in a few minutes. This will give yourself more time to get your things together you may need during a conversation. Good things to have at your fingertips are your resume, notepad, and your calendar. Make sure to take good notes during your conversation, and at the end of the call, confirm your date and time of the interview. Also, don't forget to thank them for their time and the opportunity. After setting up an interview, you want to do your research on the company. You may want to Google and learn about the company's goals, what type of customer they are trying to draw, and who are their main competitors, and do they have a good reputation. Talking with company employees is also another good way to learn about the company. They can give good inside knowledge. Blogs are also a good research tool for companies, since most have formal and informal blogs. Over the years, social media is also a good way to learn about companies. Now there's LinkedIn, which is a good place to look up your interviewer so you can put a picture with the name. You want to prepare and practice what you say when you're asked a question. Practice success stories and emphasize your most strategic skills and areas of knowledge, and your strongest personality traits, and your key accomplishments. Google typical interview questions and recite it in front of a mirror or to a friend the answer you might give. Be prepared to answer any questions they may have about your resume. This can include why you have gaps in employment. Try to answer these questions truthfully and positively. If you have been fired from a job, explain what happened and what you have learned from it. And if you have little experience, tell the future employer about all the recent training you've had. prepare for an interview is by cleaning up your social networking sites. Employers are looking into these to see what kind of employees they are hiring. Ways to do this: remove any questionable content, stay positive, be selective of your friends, avoid joining any negative groups, avoid discussing your job search if still employed, make a professional social networking site such as a LinkedIn. What to wear is another big thing to prepare before an interview. Even when the company employees may dress casual, you still want to look your best. When in doubt, wear a suit. Dark colors show power, and try to avoid any loud and vibrant colors. You want to look clean, pressed, and odor and lint free. Also, girls, when picking out your jewelry, do not overdo it. Keep it simple. All tattoos and piercings should be covered or taken out if possible. When the big day arrives, make sure to give yourself plenty of time to dress yourself and get to your destination on time without feeling rushed. You also don't want to arrive more than 10 minutes early. If you are any earlier, find a nearby cafe or sit in your car and wait. On your way to the interview, do not smoke or eat anything messy or greasy. When walking into the company, be courteous to everyone you meet. If there is a receptionist, introduce yourself, explain why you are there today, and who you are meeting with. When it finally comes time for you to meet the interviewer, be confident. Don't be afraid to initiate the handshake. Be sure to look them in the eye and introduce yourself. Hi, I'm pleased to meet you, Mr. Thomas. I'm Hannah Hanson. A handshake sends out a nonverbal message of poise and assurance. Once you have introduced yourself, make small talk. Avoid jumping into right into the interview.
Great to meet you, Ms.
Nice
Hanson.
to meet you. You're going to be nervous before the interview. It's natural. Doing the following things will help you fight the fears. Practice your interviewing, prepare thoroughly, understand the process, dress professionally, breathe deeply, know that you're not alone, and remember that the interview is a two-way street.